Welcome back to the Casual Observer. I'm your host, Daniel. This is the NBA edition of the podcast. And today we're just breaking down our predicted Eastern Conference power rankings. So not predicted standings by the end of the regular season, but who I think has the best chances to win the championship, or at least the conference. It's the quiet time of the off-season. Not much news ever since LeBron made his decision. A few little things just fell into place, but really kind of around the fringes moves. So interest levels have waned. Certainly by me, it's off-season. But power rankings time. This might shock some of you. It's, some of the positions we put these teams, again, may not be their overall reflection of the regular season. But in terms of actually winning the conference, it's, let's be honest, like the Knicks are a team that's quite high up on this list. They're defending champions after all. That's not a time to be kind of questioning like, they're going to win the most games. Like, probably not. Like, we see this all the time with championship teams. Like, they're cruising the next season, especially a team like the Knicks, who are a little bit older. They're not OKC, who still have all the energy in the world to go win 60-odd regular season games a year. They're probably going to pace themselves, and that's fine. That's so fine. But I still think when it comes to the time that matters, they are going to turn it on like nobody's business. So let's get through this. And again, feel free. We'll post this on our socials. Comment. Let's discuss. There's no wrong opinion unless you have the Brooklyn Nets or the Milwaukee Bucks winning the conference. Then you're wrong. No, I'm kidding. Well, I'm not. But, so at 15, last in the conference, the Milwaukee Bucks. I think they have no hope in hell of winning anything this year. They still have Kyle Kuzma. They still have Miles Turner, Ryan Rawlins, Kevin Porter Jr. Now they've got Nate Ament, Braden Burries. They still obviously got all the Miami shit in terms of Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Kasper Yekachonis, and a few others. So I'm sure I'm missing some people, and I will miss people from every team. I apologize. But that's a team very much of individuals. I think Taylor Jenkins has that poor coaching job, that poor bastard. Like, fired from Memphis, didn't do anything wrong, and then ends up here with this shithole. Like, good luck. If you have a mental breakdown, I get it. But yeah, it's a bunch of individuals just playing for their next contract. In all fairness, if the Bucks have any transparency, it's most likely telling all of them, you play well, you get traded to a better team. And that way we get some assets back. Because the Bucks certainly don't have their pick for a long time. So they are buried deep in this. But what makes it worse is the fact for them. For viewing, I think this is awesome. But for them, what makes it worse is the fact that the lottery rules have changed. So, there's no... not that they have their pick, but there's no, incentive to lose, and not lose badly at least. Because if you're in the bottom three, you get the worst odds, or not the worst odds, but you get reduced odds. So that means there's no, teams in this conference that's going to be like handing them wins either. So you're telling me this crapshoot of a team is actually going to piece together more wins than anyone else? Like, no. So without easy wins, without, any hope in the future at the moment, hoping that some of the Miami players that you traded for Pop, or Ryan Rawlins or Braden Burries or Nate Ament, you're trying to, really highlight what Kyle Kuzma and Miles Turner can do and Tyler Hero and trade them. So, I think for the Bucks, it's going to be a tough couple of years coming up. But you mortgaged your entire future to keep Giannis happy. And I respect the shit out of that, but boy, it's come apart now, and time to pay the piper. And this is it, bottom of the conference. 14, Brooklyn Nets. I like some of their talent. I think in other years they probably a bit higher on this, a lot higher. But I think when again there's no incentive to losing, and how much some of these other teams have powered up. Good luck. You wasted that draft 2 years ago by drafting basically 5 point guards. None of them popped. Again, time to pay the piper. You fucked up. And this is, you're going to be hoping for some miracle here. So you traded Nick Claxton. That's fine. You still got MPJ, who probably should have been an all-star last year. Getting Julius Randle makes you, technically better. He's not my kind of player. Never has been, never will be. Except for that first season as a Knick when everyone loved him. I was like, all right, can you get amongst this? But, obviously, look, you got him for nothing, so why not? Mikael Brown Jr. is fine. Showed a little bit, but not all that efficiently in Summer League. Jaeger Joman, second-year point guard, has a lot of passing vision, and that's what I like about. As a watcher, I like players that actually like sharing the ball and making others better. So Joman's got my vote. If his shooting comes along, and it seemed to come on, alongside Mikael Brown in Summer League, then there's hope. There is hope, but no pick or none of their own picks this year. So Houston has that. I think in a conference where no one's purposely losing, good luck. You are going to need MPJ to pop off and be healthy, Julius Randle to not be a number one option ever again, Joman and Mikael Brown to do stuff, and hopefully you get something from Nolan Traore, Ben Saraf, Danny Wolf, De'Aaron Sharp, like people like that who have just been fringe, non-existent players that now need to step up and do something if you're any chance of getting off the floor of the conference. So, the path is still pretty grim for the Nets, but in terms of power rankings, look, maybe they win a few more regular season games than I'm expecting, but it's on paper, this is not a weak conference. You look over in the West, you can see the Pelicans, you can see the Kings. Even they don't have, as soon as people aren't just throwing in the towel, it's actually pretty tough. So, Brooklyn Nets at 14. 13 might shock people, but Charlotte Hornets. They had maybe the goated starting lineup of all time by the end of last year, but they traded away two big pieces of that. And fair enough. Look, sell high on Miles Bridges because I don't think you're winning fuck all with him. Not my kind of player, and off the court, hopefully he's pulled his head in, but there is some shit off the court that I'm also a bit, get that out of my locker room. Sorry. And hey, if the Suns want to pay top dollar for it, we're good. We can do that. But the LaMelo Ball trade really changes this because he was really the biggest source of their offense. Yes, he's the point guard, I get that, but he could do things that are so boneheaded, but also so incredible that such a minute amount of players and people can actually do that on a basketball court. He could get anywhere. He could shoot from anywhere. It was really just, as I heard on another podcast, it was like he was playing in front of 1,000 hot chicks every night, like just trying to impress them all. So, but he could do stuff, and it made Con Knippel better, made Brandon Miller better, Miles Bridges. Now your starting point guard is either Christian Anderson or Kobe White. And I like Christian Anderson. I thought he could have gone higher in the draft. I like Hannes Steinbach, who went 14, could have gone higher. But I think if Kobe White is your best, certainly not your best point guard, but he's up there, I don't love that. We saw what that happened in Chicago Bulls land, and it led to nothing. And Christian Anderson's a first-year player. He's not going to drag you through this. I don't think Con Knippel's a playmaker. I don't think he's quick enough, strong enough, or got a tight enough handle. Great shooter. So he excels at one thing, but it's not making others better at this point. Brandon Miller has to pop along with, Steinbach, and kind of has to be Con. Of course, you've got no one else. But unless Brandon Miller absolutely explodes into a all-NBA conversation, I can't see the Hornets being that much of a threat. You got good value for LaMelo and Miles Bridges, getting some shooting with Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and getting Naz Reid. Excellent pickups. I don't think you're going to be all that bad a regular season team. I just think when you get to potentially making a play-in game, I'm not sure what damage you're actually going to do when teams load up and game plan against you properly. So happy to be wrong. They're a fun team. And already watching some of LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards workouts. There may be a few regrets on this because it's really snapped LaMelo Ball into off-season action, which is so scary. But again, it's a decent little return, and hopefully the Hornets can develop a good, solid point guard. Maybe not this year, but in the future years. So it's all coming down for me on the Hornets to Brandon Miller, and I think he's a couple of years away still. So they're at 13. 12, the Wizards. Look, they've done a lot this offseason. I actually thought when the new GM took over, it was really good. Moved on from Bradley Beal, took on some shit money, but still, to get a few assets in the process, did the tear down properly. But now the build back up has been weird. I know you can't predict getting the number one pick in the draft. I get that. Getting DeBancer is just awesome. Getting any of the top four would have been awesome for the Wizards this year. But, the contract you gave Trae Young, I've already spoken about it, but it seemed like you were just fighting a one-man battle and you lost. Why are you giving him 4 years, 212? Maybe 4 years, 140? You just fucked your own cap space there and didn't need to. And now you have a perennial ball hog and defensive liability just sitting there at 50-odd mil a year. So, well done. All the goodwill you built up, you fucked up. But anyway, we digress. Because maybe he's also having a bit of a resurgence, but I don't know. If Trae Young's your best player with the ball, good luck. I think that only takes you so far. Getting Anthony Davis, again, on the upside sounds awesome. Actually, in theory and versus practical, is he playing? Is he healthy? Can he shoot? Cool. I don't think he could shoot, so therefore he has to play the 5. Doesn't want to play the 5. Well, brother, fucking make a decision. Learn to shoot, put the hours in the gym, and get good at it and confident and don't shy away. Or play the fucking 5. It's pretty simple. But no, these guys that are so delusional that are still asking at 35 years of age for all this money, brother, you're not getting that money. And if you are, whoever's paying you that money is fucking deluded. So anyway, Chris Middleton's been brought back in. I thought DeMar DeRozan had. That was fake news. My bad. But yeah, they've got Chris Middleton. So again, you can kind of see, Chris Middleton, I'm hoping comes off the bench. But you don't really leave too many options now in the starting lineup for some of your younger players or even minutes on the bench. So you're assuming Davis starts, Sarr starts, DeBancer starts, and Young start. So that leaves one spot. Is it Trey Johnson? Is it Will Riley? Keyshawn George? There's so many good, talented players on this squad that just, they may not be the most prestigious players coming out of college, but they have talent, and it'd be nice to see them actually play. So, Bub Carrington's another one. I think Cam Whitmore's still somewhere. They've got players. They're not going to be enough minutes, enough ball touches, those kind of things. So, I think they might be all right again in the regular season. I don't think they'll be amazing. I think they'll actually look a lot better when Anthony Davis is injured and Trae Young. Look, I think they still need Trae Young to organise them, but I think he's going to slow down some of their progress as well, development-wise. I think if only one of Trae Young, Anthony Davis is around, there's more touches, more playing time for everyone. Perfect. But if they're both there and Chris Middleton's playing down the stretch, DeBancer has to play and Sarr probably has to play. Everyone else is just getting kind of wasted. And I think I'd like to see a lot more from, Keyshawn George, Trey Johnson, So I think it's a tough one for Washington because they brought in some vets, they overpaid some, and now you're eating into your development. So, I think one of the three, or maybe Middleton on reduced minutes, plus one of the other two, fine. Having all three, good luck. Good luck to the younger guys. Good luck to that locker room. I think you've actually capped your own ceiling by doing this, at least this season. Who knows? Maybe in a season or two it looks like a genius move. And maybe you just sign Chris Middleton for the first half of the year and then you move off him. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. It seems like a lot when you've been kind of bad for so long to now think you could just buy your way to goodness. Like, yeah, good luck. That was number 12. Number 11, Chicago Bulls. Love their offseason. Holy shit, they look so competent suddenly. Incredible. Josh Giddey at the 1 is the real flaw for me. Yes, he's Aussie, but I don't think if he's your ball handler, I don't know what place he actually has in the NBA that's actually going to lead to winning. I think if he's basically a Magic Johnson type and averages like 14 assists a game and maybe like 8 points and not shooting that much, maybe he becomes really, really good. But right now, I don't know, man. I don't really want you touching the ball like outside of passing it. So yeah, I don't know what limitations that leads, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's a trade candidate. I would be surprised if anyone paid good money for him, but that's another question. Love the signing of Norm Powell. Love the acquisition of Nick Claxton. Matas Buzelis looks better and better. And Caleb Wilson turned my head in Summer League. Like, I thought he was kind of there in college. But holy shit, Summer League, I was like, fuck yeah. See what this guy was talked about at potentially number 1. Like, was definitely holding his own against the top 4. So, you know, your Cameron Boozer, DeBanza, Peterson. So all had their moments and, looked really good. So there is hope in Chicago Bulls land, but not this season. It's kind of a bit of a wash, I think. I think you need a better just one. I don't think you need a better passer than Josh Giddey, because Josh Giddey is a good passer, but he does not have a tight handle. He's not strong. He's pretty big defensive liability, and you pair that with his shooting liability. There's a lot, man. There's a lot. So if he improves a little bit, gets about 33, 34% from downtown on decent volume, and actually puts in decent effort defensively, because we know he rebounds, but that's, well and good to finish the defensive possession. I get that, but I actually need you to not be so weak that Nick Claxton and Caleb Wilson are in foul trouble day in, day out. So, I think their biggest liability is, Josh Giddey, and hopefully the two others, Wilson and Buzelis, evolve. As I said, on their bench, look, Swain and Essengay kind of seem like wasted picks to me. But go on. Number 10 probably will shock you. The Miami Heat. I said that. That's my team. Fuck them. Going for an aging superstar and paying the absolute farm is never a great move long term. Now you have no depth. So there's your short term also fucked. Great. My biggest thing is the fact that they've got Bam Adebayo, can't really shoot. Giannis definitely can't shoot. And Davion Mitchell decides when to shoot. And no fifth starter. You've got Andrew Wiggins, who came off a career year from downtown. Awesome. Great defender. Just a solid role player. Love his contract extension. So it's 30 mil, then like 16 and 17. Great. But the big one is, who's playing the 2? Is it Conwell? Is it Pele Larson, Fontecchio? I'm sure I'm missing. Tim Hardaway. Is it, goddamn, Nikola Jovic? Shit, what a bad contract that is. They just need more. Playmaking, we're fine. No problems on playmaking. But when you're spraying the ball out to a shooter that's too scared to shoot or is going to airball it, fuck me, is it going to be hard to watch. So I would be expecting a lot of 90 to 95 score ranges for the Miami Heat this year, so it's going to be a hard watch. Giannis, I'm a pessimist when it comes to my own teams. When I'm watching the Australian cricket team, per scorchers, now I'm watching the Miami Heat, I'm always pessimistic, so I apologise. But being a realist, watching some of this is going to be difficult. And I think when you don't have any shooters, Bam needs shooting around him. Giannis needs shooting around him. I think offensively we're going to struggle. Defensively, awesome. Good luck scoring a fucking point. As long as we're healthy. If we're injured, and there's a high chance that Giannis at his age is going to be injured, pray to the fucking Lord. We're in trouble. So I don't think we're going to win that many in-season games, and I don't think we're really that much of a threat to the championship. I think next season or next off season is where the magic's going to happen. So, but I don't like the idea. Like, I like having Giannis on the team. I'd rather have him than not, but I don't like the career trajectory of a guy that can only, like, he can't shoot. Like, if he's just got to play physically, I don't like the fact that there's a 30-year-old body, 13 years in the league. Like, that's a lot of miles, man. That's a lot of miles on the clock, and he's wearing down more and more just through sheer evidence of his calf injuries, and I don't like that as a trustworthy piece. So, number 10, Miami Heat. Number 9, Orlando Magic. They see themselves as championship contenders. Cool. Maybe have an offense that isn't completely shithouse, and maybe don't be injured all the time. That would really help. But yeah, look, love Paolo. Love Anthony Black. Love Suggs. Love Wagner. Love Desmond Bain. Like, I love a lot of players on their team individually. As a team, it's just, I mean, Jalen Suggs always hurt. Franz Wagner always hurt. Like, Paolo Banchero is getting a bit that way. Like, can you guys please just figure your shit out? Like, yeah, you're still, like, growing and stuff. I get it. But it's just, yeah, just stay healthy so we can actually figure out if you can play together or not. I don't think they can, just quietly. I would trade Franz Wagner, see what you can get, just get a bit more depth off the bench, a bit more shooting, just role players. I think role players is what you want. And then you probably have to choose out of Suggs, Bain, and Anthony Black. Because I don't think paying all three high money is a great financial decision or team building decision. So I'd like a better center than Wendell Carter as well. I think he's shithouse. That's just my opinion. He shoots, theoretically, he spreads the floor. Doesn't really. He's a shot blocker. Not really. Not a great rebounder. I just think I'd love an upgrade there. So if you can move, say, Jalen Suggs one way, Franz Wagner another way, and turn that into a couple of role players, and then a good center, now we're talking. Like, for me, if you had a healthy Kristaps Porzingis on this team, and then, say, you had Anthony Black starting next to Desmond Bain, and your three-man was, I don't know. I'm going to pick someone out of the thin air, like, say, an Andrew Wiggins, just because he was fresh in my mind. I know the money, I get it. But that lineup, to me, you've got role player with Anthony Black. Desmond Bain knows his role. Andrew Wiggins certainly knows his. Kristaps Porzingis these days has definitely sunk into a role much better. And then Paolo can be your number one. It's pretty clear who the number one is. The Celtics have just done the same. Tatum is a very clear number one now. And so I think this is the way the league is heading. So I think the Orlando Magic can get ahead of it. So they're selling, not at a high, because I think that's gone, but at a point where they're selling on some of these players where there's still some value. Do it before the league realizes that, hey, giving you all these assets for an injured Jalen Suggs, probably not a good idea. So I would do that sooner rather than later, but they seem pretty content on the fact that they can challenge for a championship if healthy. So, I don't think... Every game just seems like hard work, you know? And that's what I'm kind of getting at with some of these teams is I think for the Heat, the Magic, even at a point for the Pistons, there's going to be a lot of games where you're really grinding and that's going to wear on you. And it's not going to be fun and it's not going to be easy. And it's just going to make the regular season hard work. And then by the time you get to the playoffs, you're going to be gassed. So I think that has come into my rankings a little bit here. So, playing with some fun, having some blowouts, making others better, I think is actually going to be really helpful. Shocking that. In sport, making others better is going to make your life easy. But yeah, Magic at 9, Hawks at 8. I love their off-season. Aaron Wiggins, Lou Dort, getting rid of Kuminga. They did some good stuff. It's just... how far can Jalen Johnson and CJ McCollum take you? Again, it's the Aussie players, man. Dyson Daniels, awesome defender. All these Aussies that come into the league seem to have one clear skill. Jock Landale, just large and can theoretically spread the floor and high energy. Josh Giddey, good passer. As you look at now, Dyson Daniels, great defender. But but cannot fucking shoot to save his life. Like, come on, man. Like, how are you going to stay on the floor? Like, if you're offering nothing and just fighting people, that ain't great. So, I don't know what the Hawks starting lineup's going to be. Obviously, Jalen Johnson, pencil him in. You can probably go. I'm assuming Dyson Daniels, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, whether it's CJ or Lou Dort. Like, there's a lot of up in the air. So, a lot of good players, but none that really stand out. I like Jalen Johnson. I think he's a good number 2, a playmaking number 2. So, they haven't got that number 1 option. So, they're going to be a bitch to play as well. I don't think there's going to be real easy games for them. Like the Magic, the Heat, the Pistons, it's going to be some really grinding out tough defense games. And so this whole conference is it seems a little tough on the offensive end at the moment. But defense seems well and truly alive in the sense of this team. So Hawks, it's more just the confusion of who's your number 1 night to night, who can we rely on, what's your starting lineup, and do the players that have shortcomings, Lou Dort shooting, Dyson Daniels shooting, rim protection and rebounding, like, can those things be patched up well enough? So I don't think so, and that's why they're number 8. Number 7 is the Raptors. Didn't really know what to do with them. If they get Kawhi, they're higher. If they don't get Kawhi, I think this is about where they belong. They got some cool players, but, it really comes down to that trade for me. Like, if you're getting Kawhi in place of Ingram and Dick, like, sweet. That's such an upgrade next to Scotty Barnes. If that trade doesn't go through and you're stuck with Ingram and, an injured Emmanuel Quickly and, Jakob Poeltl, they can get pretty gross pretty quickly, and you could be falling down these power rankings pretty quick. So I think I went 7 because it was kind of halfway where I thought the best and the worst could be. I thought with Kawhi, they could probably be in the top 4. Without Kawhi, I think they could probably be, around that 10-11 mark. So it sits kind of in the middle. I like Scotty, and I like Jacoby Walter, and I love Colin Murray-Boyles. That's about it. There's not much else on this team that's really yay, can't wait to watch that guy play. Emmanuel Quickly's fun, but I don't think he's a winning player. He's definitely overpaid, which doesn't help winning because there's less cap room. So RJ Barrett's cool, solid, definitely not flashy. Shoots too much if you ask me, but hey. So I think, look, they just don't have the star power without Kawhi, and therefore without stars, much like the Hawks, you drop a little bit. So Raptors at 7. This is where it gets interesting. It's a top 6 for me. Top 6 really contend. This is a controversial one, I get it. But the Cavs at number 6. If you've got Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, there's enough there to definitely say on paper you can contend. That's straight up. I know it hasn't been proven. I know they're weak. I know they're small. I know they don't give a fuck. But on paper, they can contend. It's just the actual fact that none of this is actually played on paper. So I would say for the Cavs, 6 is, they're going to be a hell of a regular season team, probably another 50-plus wins. I just don't think they're all that scary to face in the playoffs. Who'd they play? They played... Oh, man, I'm having a real mental... I think they played the Raptors, then the Pistons, and then got swept by the Knicks. So I wouldn't even say they played the Knicks, but they didn't really play anyone that good. You go up against, the Raptors, cool, we just talked about all their shortcomings. Took you 7 games to beat them. Unimpressive, that's for sure. Then you took down the Pistons. So, yes. And that's, again, it's the Pistons who just played a 7-round series, and it took you another 7 games to knock them out. Nothing's easy with you guys. I don't think you can win the championship with Donovan Mitchell as your best player. There, I said it. Take it as you will. But I just think, look, he doesn't make people better. He doesn't want to make people better. I said the same about Jalen Brunson. And then guess what? Jalen Brunson made other people better. But Donovan Mitchell just wants to score, and that's about it. And when he passes, it seems to be out of necessity. So, I don't think he can be your best player in a championship-winning team. James Harden's James Harden. Evan Mobley's not really evolved. Obviously miscast. At this point, you're just okay, if he got picked 8th, 9th, 10th in the draft instead of, 4th? or third. I can't remember. You're probably having a different conversation, but because you got picked so high, everyone's like, oh, he's going to be like Kevin Garnett or something. Like, oh, clearly not. Clearly not. So I just don't think they have the upside right now. So therefore, they're 6. They have a bit more pedigree than the teams below them, but that's about it. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. Number 5. Again, another shocker, I reckon. But the Celtics. You trade away a finals MVP, a guy that finished 6th in MVP voting in Jaylen Brown. It gets very, very clear on who the number 1 is, and therefore role definition becomes a lot easier on this team. And I think they'll rack up regular season wins, provided Tatum's healthy. But in the playoffs, it also becomes very easy to kind of guard Tatum, because then you're leaving Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Paul George. You're leaving them wide open to do stuff. I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that. I'd be very interested to see how that goes. I think, again, powerhouse in the regular season, not so crash hot in the postseason. So that's my personal opinion, of course, and I think Tatum can take you places, that's for sure. But I think losing a running mate as good as Jaylen Brown for basically nothing. Sorry, Paul George. He now has to do all the playmaking. I don't think Peyton Pritchard's ever got an assist in his life. Derek White's not bad at playmaking, but his role really should be spot up threes and defense. So I just think, if it's in the playoffs, if Tatum's getting double, triple teamed, who's doing shit with the ball? Because it's not Cater. Paul George has lost a step. Derek White can do it, but he's going to be exhausted. And Peyton Pritchard, love him to watch. I'm not sure how he is to play with. So, 6-man, definitely got his name written all over it. They're 5th. Now, the 4th position, the Detroit Pistons. Weird off-season. They still don't have Duren under wraps, and depending how pissed off Jalen Duren is, might make this look like a stupid pick at 4, but I think Cade Cunningham's only getting better. Their team's kind of shonky anyway, and they were the number 1 seed last year. They won their first playoff series against the Magic after being down 3-1. And then took the Cavs to 7. So, unlike the Cavs, theirs was a bit more impressive because it was a one-man band in Cade Cunningham. Jalen Duren didn't show up, hence why these chats are going so poorly. I think is a bit of self-awareness. Jalen Duren, you actually played yourself out of a max, if you think any otherwise. Man, I'm clearly missing the memo, or you have the wrong people around you, because Jesus. I think Cade Cunningham's only going to get better. He's now seen things. They've won things. I say won things. They've won a first-round playoff series. But I just think all that's good experience for them. Their roster's still a bit shit, if you ask me. Obviously you lost Jaden Ivey for basically nothing. You signed Kevin Huerter to a deal that's terrible. 3 years, $27 million. Who are you competing against? I thought he was going to be a minimum guy. You got Isaiah Joe, that's good. But again, he was like the 12th man for the OKC Thunder, so that probably tells you more than you need to know. And you don't have Duren properly lined up. You got rid of Isaiah Stewart. Obviously, you got John Collins, that's cool. But yeah, I think there's a huge upside for them, but it's all coming down to Cade Cunningham, basically just being an MVP. So I believe in Cade Cunningham MVP case more than the Cavs, that's for sure. So they're my 4th team. I think they'll win a lot of regular season games, and provided as long as they're healthy, that experience in the playoffs just gone will help them in this next playoff. So I'd expect them to be like a top 3 seed and play like it. Number 3, Indiana Pacers. Awesome. Shocking, considering they just tanked the whole last season, but Tyrese Halliburton was injured. They traded away a lot, and they just went fresh. So got rid of Benedict Mathurin, but they got Ivica Zubac. They've still got Pascal Siakam. They've got, obviously, Tyrese Halliburton, Nembhard, Naismith. They've got some players, man. We just forgot about them. That's all. So I could very much see them competing for the top seed in the conference when they all things are said and done for the regular season. But I think, they are a team that took the Thunder to 7 in the NBA Finals 2 years ago. And I'd say Ivica Zubac over Miles Turner at this point in their careers is a good win. Pascal Siakam's still delivering. Tyrese Halliburton should certainly be fresh. Should be, as should Nembhard, Naismith. Like, they got some players, man. So I think the Pacers they're going to be an under the radar team. We'll call it that. I think it all depends, of course, on how Siakam and Zubac gel in the front court and how Tyrese Halliburton looks. So again, I'm going on upside for these teams, which again, I think some of you will probably be like, well, why aren't the Celtics at number 3? But game planning wise, I just see that the Pacers and the Pistons are going to be a bitch to game plan against compared to the Celtics. I think for the Celtics, I'm happy taking the ball out of Tatum's hand and trusting that. And the Pistons aren't much better in terms of get the ball out of Cade Cunningham and where are you going from there. But I think I just trust Cade Cunningham a little bit more at this point. And I know it's probably a bit controversial because Tatum's in the prime of his life, but that Achilles, man, I don't know. Didn't love what I saw post-injury from them, so hopefully it looks a lot better in the off-season. But with the Pacers, same with Halliburton. I think being a smidge smaller than Tatum is actually better, and lighter is better for his recovery. Obviously, the shingles wasn't great, but I think Pacers-wise, I have all the faith in the world that they're going to be competing for the championship next year, and none of this will be proven right until April next year. But I don't know. I'm banking a lot on the fact that the Pacers are right up there for competing for it again. So I wouldn't be surprised if they come out the blocks clear number 1 seed in the conference, just because they have a lot to prove after a very, very poor year last year where they lost their first-round pick, which turned into Keaton Wagler. So number 2, the 76ers. Pretty self-explanatory. Maxey, Edgecombe, LeBron James, Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid. Oh my God, by the way, the Celtics got Mitch Robinson. Forgot to note that part. I think that's a huge pickup for them, but again, free throws, not his favorite. But the Sixers, they got, I think they need a backup big man. They've got Ariel Hukporti at the moment. I could give less of a shit about that. I think he's good, but 8 minutes a game. John Barlow, maybe. But they've also got Anthony Simons, Justin Edwards, players like this. So they've got some serious talent. They let Oubre go to the Pacers, which I think is a good pickup for the Pacers, but not game changing in my opinion. But for the 76ers, star power. If Joel Embiid is theoretically healthy, awesome. If LeBron James is theoretically healthy, awesome. Other than that, you very much got Maxey, Brown, and Edgecombe that are going to carry this team through the regular season. They'll get a shit ton of wins. And I think as long as you play about 40 games with your starting 5 somewhat intact, I'd like probably 1,000 minutes between them, which is asking a lot, mind you. That's enough, I think, to gel you for the playoffs. So 800 to 1,000 minutes should have all the kinks kind of worked out by then. So I think they're very much in contention for the championship. I think LeBron's going to do whatever it takes to fill in the gaps, playmaking, basically playmaking. I think the knowledge he can impart, along with bringing Brown in, who's a finals MVP as well, will really help elevate Maxey, Edgecombe, and Embiid. But it really depends how it gels. I'm not too worried about the first 20, 30 games because we've seen many a team come together that, have a 500 record at the 30-game mark and then explode. Once something clicks for them and they figure out roles and stuff like that and who's going to be number 1, 2, 3. I think the biggest roadblock for this team is Joel Embiid and his inconsistency playing and his different roles. Can he shoot from outside? Like we saw that disappear in the playoffs just gone. If he can't shoot from outside, the floor spacing theory disappears. Can LeBron still keep it up at age 42? I honestly, at this point, get out of his own way and let Tyrese Maxey have his team. I'd like to see Tyrese Maxey shoot a few less shots every game, and then Brown actually be on the move when he's shooting some, instead of just breaking down a defender, taking a pull-up midi or a spin range midi. Like, handy for the Celtics, but I think for this team, as much as it's nice to let other players rest in the corner while they can, while he's doing it all, like, I don't know, I still think some of the best, he's still super athletic, so I'd like to see a lot of corner cuts and getting dunks from that. But I think Maxey's got to be a lot better at playmaking and defense, and I think LeBron's got to put the effort in. Joel's got to just be there. So I think Edgecombe and Brown have to be your cornerstones for the regular season. Maxey has to bring his shots and minutes down, but I mean, I'm nitpicking. This team can definitely, if they switch on and pull their shit in line, like, they could definitely take on the Knicks and whoever else that comes, to face them in the playoffs. So they're my second power ranking team. Number 1 is the Knicks. I'm sorry. If you're the champion, unless you change your team drastically, you deserve to still be the champion, in my opinion. So even though I think the Knicks will probably take the regular season quite easy, apart from losing Mitch Robinson and Ariel Hukporti, I don't know. I kind of like where they're at. Obviously, there's going to be some money crunches coming up in the next 2 or 3 years, but until then, man, they now know how to win, and I now trust Jalen Brunson. I mean, after that FIBA World Cup performance a couple of years ago, what was it, 23? Something tells me it was, about 2023. Oh, I did not trust that guy. But now, holy shit, after taking down Wemby, you got my vote, sir. I'd say Brunson and the Knicks, definitely number 1. Your OG, Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns, Josh Hart. Like, you got players on players on players, man. So if you're the champion, you deserve to be number 1. They are my number 1 to come out of the East as Eastern Conference champions and go back to back, honestly. But yeah, for me, it's really a top 6. It's Knicks, Sixers, Pacers, Pistons, Celtics, and Cavs. And the Cavs are only there because I think their regular season record may finally line up with a nice run through the playoffs, but that's a generous maybe. Like, I would quite easily flip them out for the Raptors if Kawhi goes to Toronto. So, and who knows? We don't know what in-season trades is going to be, any other off-season stuff. There's always something with the NBA, but without these easy wins, with the new lottery system and with everyone, scrapping and fighting, I think Knicks, Sixers, Pacers are the easiest bets to win the conference. Then Pistons, Celtics, Cavs, depending on the Raptors, they're a question mark. But yeah, for me, the big shocks are the Heat at 10. We talked about it, but I think some people have them way higher. I did hear another podcast where one dude had them at 6, one dude had them at 11. So I'm clearly not the only one that's low on their roster, but I just think we could talk about the conference all day. Winning matters, and I mean, they've got one of the better players when he's actually healthy, but if he's not healthy, this roster is butthole. So, Knicks, man, you can't question the Knicks, in my opinion. The Sixers, you'd be stupid to be writing off LeBron James, Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey. The Pacers, if you've forgotten what happened 2 years ago, go back and watch. The Pacers gave the Thunder everything they could. The Pistons are on the up and up, especially Cade. The Celtics, Tatum is Tatum. If he looks back to normal, they're higher on this list. I just don't trust his Achilles recovery just yet. And Kawhi or no Kawhi is the big takeaway from this. But I think if you're a Bucks fan, a Brooklyn fan, a Wizards fan, save your eyeballs. Save your eyeballs, please. So, look, we'll post this again on socials. Let us know what you think, what we got right, wrong. But hey, only time will tell. So, if you have one of your own teams that you follow, definitely, give us the inside goss on what you think is going to happen. But man, yeah, I'd be so shocked if there's any major, apart from major injuries, any huge changes to this list. So, let me know what you think. But until next time, bye for now.